Welcome to the Flow Content Creation Challenge, the video challenge. We're so excited here at Flow Network to be bringing the energy of creation, of inspiration into 2022. Here we believe that when we share our story and we put ourselves out there, we put our vision out into the world, we literally transform communities. And our story can very well be a survival guide for somebody else, someone else out there. So we really believe that now is the time to start being very comfortable with self-expression, being yourself, putting yourself out on video, and making the transformation that we're all here to make in this new world that we're stepping into. So here's our outline we're going to just try to wrap this up within 40 minutes, an hour at the most. And we want to get to know you. We don't have many of us on the live here today, so it'll be pretty quick. We're going to talk to you about us and why we're so passionate to be here with you and why we've created Flow Network. And then we want to hear from you, why you're here, what inspired you to do this challenge. And even if you're not here with us live, tell us in the comments, why are you here? We want to give you a big picture. We said in all of the lead up to this, content is great, video content is great, but context is queen. They say content is king, context is queen. So we're going to give the big picture context, get into the logistics about this challenge. We'll give you the topic for this week, and then we'll wrap up with any questions, and that's what we will do. But before we get into it, a little bit about us. So my name is Sarah, and Tim and Sharon there, we have co-founded Flow Network, and this is a convergence of our collective mission of why we're here on the planet, which is ultimately to raise consciousness, to raise the vibration on the planet. And I believe that every single one of us, our life experience has been so uniquely crafted to each of us, to each of us, and it's created a beautiful skill set or sweet spot or superpower to exist right now on the planet in this time. And so my background, it comes in two seemingly different worlds. One is just holistic health and well-being, and I'm a yogini and have studied human psyche and patterns as long as I can remember. I've been very self-reflective and just very much passionate about inspiring other people to love the life that they live, this one life that we have to live. And my other passion is in video, and I study television broadcasting. And so I have been working with leaders, businesses, artists, creatives for over 10 years in telling stories and getting out on video. And it is truly my passion. So we created Flow Network as the new conscious broadcasting network. And it's really to understand that we are the broadcasters, and we broadcast our reality based off of how we show up in the world. And we have so much power. We'll get into that more with the big picture. But that's a bit about my background and why I'm here, and to bring video to the forefront in terms of using social media and the internet in a way that we can. I really believe that marketing and how we show up is the front face of our culture. And we're at this jump point of evolution where we can really impact our culture moving forward. So Tim and Sharon, you want to share a little bit?
I'll jump in. My name is Tim Glover. I have known Sarah for, I think, 2.5 years. And previous to that, Sharon and I worked with businesses, big and small, to be able to go and help them improve their performance by learning about who they are, why they are, how they are, and learning the magic of being on the planet and associated with being on the planet at this point in history as it relates to improving performance. So my formal background was I was a chartered accountant, so I knew numbers and the role that business plays in the world. And I also was a singer-songwriter, and Sharon and I did, I'm using the intro for both of us. We were singer-songwriters for a number of years together, and we toured around North America because it was something I wanted to do after I left corporate business. And we founded a company called Lightcore, which was an iteration of businesses we had from the time we actually met up until now. And the whole objective of that is to raise consciousness within the context of business. And we've helped business leaders, as I say, in small businesses, all kinds of industries, help to understand how they are actually very, very specially skilled to be able to achieve things that they didn't really appreciate were phenomenal because it came so easy for them. We call that sweet spot. So part of the exercise in helping people get this orientation out there is to be able to go and use video, because video is powerful. And I still remember the very first time, first day we met, Sarah, and you know, saying, Sarah, so what are you involved in? I'm broadcast media. And I thought, oh my goodness, we've got to actually sit down and talk, because that really is, I believe, the framework for the future in terms of conveying what we'll call education in combination with entertainment. So edutainment. And because the school system is not, and the business world is not capable of educating on all the things that are necessary to be outrageously you, we thought, hey, that's what we're all about here at Flow Network. So the objective is to be able to go and help people in this particular format learn how to use video in a way that actually serves them, putting themselves out there in whatever way makes them feel comfortable or even satisfied about putting themselves out into this digital landscape. There we go.
And I'm Sharon. As Tim said, we're married. We've been together. We did music together. My background is actually in education. And my strength as an educator is the ability to see the potential inside the people that I'm working with and mirror it back to them. And if they're interested, help them find their unique path to that gem, the Grail cup that sits inside of each of us, and bring it to the world in the way that makes sense to them. I've done that always as an educator, whether I was teaching earth education or leadership or working in a business setting. So I work with leaders, leadership teams, and individuals to help them learn to expand their own ability to stand in ever intensifying energy and opportunity and challenge, and meet it and show up, because that's how we grow. That's how we grow. That's how the world lights up. That's how businesses grow. I'm also a singer-songwriter, as Tim said, and I'm very excited about this. Video is something that has been extremely challenging for me, and with Sarah's help in the last couple of years, I've gotten much more comfortable with it, but it's still a challenge. So I'm here as a participant, as well as a support for anyone who needs it on this journey. And I'm excited about the next 4 weeks.
Awesome. Yes, Tim and Sharon have both been hugely instrumental in my growth as well. And it's been such an honor and a beautiful journey to be with you guys, leading in this sort of raising of consciousness a lot longer and for a long time. And I love when I first met you, Tim, and you said your company was called Lightcore, and it's enlightened leadership. And, you know, we love talking about what leadership means in this new world. And we believe we're all leaders basically of our own life. And that your slogan for Lightcore is the core of business is people, and the core of people is light. And that is what we're here to remember, is that we are all light, and we are in a dark period. If we were to look in our outside world, there's a lot of chaos going on. And when we're in the darkness, even in our microcosmic life, it can sometimes be very hard to remember that we are actually the light in the dark. And that is so much of my intention in this challenge, is to inspire us to shine our lights, and just how important that is. And the basis for what Flow Network is about is, we say, just be it. You be you. You be your outrageous self, And it sounds like, I remember, sometimes, because for a long time I've been on this path of authenticity and, be yourself. And there's so many layers of how we've not been ourselves that we can be blind to. And it is a real journey to really embrace our outrageous self and, find our sweet spot in the world and find the deep connection that we all long to feel with ourselves and then with others. And before we get more into the deeper context, we want to throw it over to you. You maybe pause the video if you're watching the replay and just really sit and reflect on why you're here. We don't believe there's coincidences for anything. And we do have Rome here, who's been a great supporter of Flow Network since the beginning and a supporter of my work in my previous network. So thanks for being here, Rome. And why don't you share with us a little bit about you and why you're here? Uh-oh, you're muted, Rome.
There we go.
There we go.
There we are.
Now we can hear you.
Wow. Thank you. Giving gratitude for the space and for your energies, helping and sharing and teaching. Where to share? This is a good timing for me, this program, because I am really never had a problem with me being me or expressing myself in that way. But the video part of is kind of new to me and challenging, intimidating in a lot. The technology is intimidating. So I have been coming up out of the rubble, trying to figure this all out at the same time, trying to produce decent content. So it's going to be a good education format for me as well. And I'm looking forward to it, actually. I'm looking forward to the expansion.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's exactly it. It's the energy of expansion and creation go together. And, it's important, we feel, to keep expanding and to move with the energy. And we've never experienced the speed at which we are evolving because of things like technology and social media amplify and accelerate our evolution and our growth. And I think it's so important to bring intention and ritual and just really honor the power that we have through our intention and through the words that we use as a part of being a creator of this reality. So I'm really excited for this as well. Thank you for sharing, Rome. So let's get a little bit more into the bigger picture. And actually, before we get into the big picture, I think that, Rome, what you said about a lot of us, we can feel like, yeah, I can be myself. And then it's amazing when you put a camera on, what barriers come up about you being yourself and putting yourself out into the world. And there's many thoughts that can go through our head. And still to this day, as much as I've been putting video out there, I still have that inner critic voice that comes up and, says, why does this matter? Or, who's going to care what you have to say? Or, whatever it is. And please feel free to share in the comments if you're watching the replay, what that might be for you, and just reflect on that. Because we're here to support and get rid of all of those belief systems, and to really reflect on what are your belief systems that have been holding you back in any way. And this model that we'll bring up here is something that was created through, Tim has been working on various versions of this model for the business world. And then we had a mastermind, which, Rome, you were a part of just at the end of last year, which helped us evolve this even more. And now we've evolved it again to fit within the frame of video. And your level of comfort or your level of flow with showing up on video. And we have here the jump point in evolution is what we feel we're experiencing right now. And that is from the old world, which is level 1, 2, 3. We have victim of circumstance, go-getter, and go-getter magnet, where we have so much conditioning from our old world And it's a very, leadership, speaking of leadership, it was a very top down and power over energy. And in this new world, the jump point of evolution is a complete flip, and it's a power within. You are the broadcaster. Your power to create your reality is inside of you. And it's not linear like we were so conditioned that it was in the old world. And in the old world, we can get really stuck in feeling separate from everything and everyone. And so in that place, we can judge and blame and project, and we continue to perpetuate patterns over and over and over again that we're so tired of. And in this new world, we are understanding that we really are all one. And to understand that intellectually, and there's so many people that talk about this, we're all one, we're all connected. But this jump point is to embody what that really means. We are all one. And to own and accept and what patterns are coming up for us, and understand that our power is in transmuting these old patterns that no longer work for us. So we're also moving from codependent type of relationships to interdependent. And that, for me, the energy of 2022 is going to be really finding your people, finding your community, finding people that have the same values, the same vision, and the same similar reasons, missions for why they're here, and understanding how to flow in community. And for people to find you, being on video is a really powerful way for you to start building trust and putting your essence out into the digital world that is really plays very well to this non-linear aspect of being here on the planet. And we've done this with Flow Network, is we have a track of why we're here, and it allows you to develop a relationship with the outside world before you actually can meet someone in person, which we're not able to do in the ways that we have in the past. Sharon, did you want to add something?
Well, I just wanted to add that one of the fundamental differences between the level 1 to 3 world, the old world, and this new world that we're embodying and that is emerging, we are in a complete state of flux on this entire planet.
Yeah.
I mean, the planet itself has always been a system of complex living system. It is. We are a system of complex living systems, but we're now, nobody can control what is going on. There is not a leader alive on this planet who has experienced a global pandemic. This is all uncharted territory. And the fundamental difference, and a part of the freedom that I've realized, is that in that level 1 to 3 world, not only was leadership top down, or just living your life was all about, as you become an adult and the older you get, the more in control you're supposed to be, and the more perfect you're supposed to be. And for me, that perfectionism and that need to know exactly what I was going to say, and Rome, I'm with you, learning the technology and even just trying to remember how to make it all work and then upload it. It's a learning curve for me. I'm obviously, not a digital native by any stretch. So the freedom involved in a non-linear, complex, constantly changing our current reality is no one knows. Yeah. And no one has straight line answers. So it is no longer about perfection. It's about just bringing whatever your excellence is today. And that, learning that from you, Sarah, and realizing that the world doesn't come to an end if I'm not perfect on something, has been really liberating for me. And I think that as soon as we put a camera in front of us, it's a performance in a way, and that can cause a lot of us to stiffen up. So the freedom in the whole, this is, yes, what you said last week might have been perfect for last week, and then everything changed. So it's okay that it's different today.
And I think that's one thing that can be a huge barrier in putting yourself on video, is like, I'm not perfect yet. I don't know really where I'm going. I know I'm very passionate about being here, and I know I have a big reason for being here, but I'm not super clear yet. So I need to wait until I start creating content or start doing something.
Right.
And what we're proposing, what I've been proposing and working with Tim and Sharon, and why we have literally hundreds of videos in our foundation, is I saw as a broadcast visionary the power of documenting your evolution and this new type of leadership, being like, we are in highly transformative times. We can transform and evolve every single day as an individual. And especially when the world and we are starting to experience more of the boxes of society being removed. And so the non-linear part of reality is being more exposed, that we can say, well, what is leadership and what are our values in terms of being a leader? And for me, it's definitely to show that I'm not perfect and that transformation is messy at times. And I think that this time has also opened our hearts more to that, and to the need to want to see people transform and evolve, because that builds trust. It builds trust to know that, you know, that I'm seeing who a person really is as they've evolved and they've been consistent in why they're here, even if it's changed and evolved. And that's really what flow is about, is I can think that I know what my business is going to look like a year from now. And this is actually what we're experiencing, is more in the old world, as if you're trying to push. We have being pushed as a victim of circumstance. Pushing is this energy that we've certainly all experienced in our life, where we did have that goal and we pushed and ignored, you know, what our body was telling us, or, you know, even doors shutting and still trying to push through them. And that isn't sustainable. And so the new world is really about surrendering and listening to what the market is telling you, listening to what your body is telling you, and allowing yourself to show up even in that space. That is powerful leadership, is to be vulnerable and not to know everything, but just to be consistent. And so putting yourself out on video, it does hold you accountable to that expansion, to that growth, and to sharing vulnerably, which is so courageous. Tim, did you have anything that you wanted to add?
Well, I was going to add the perfection comment. We could literally talk about this till the day, you know, forever, because it's on the left side. As a leader, the whole objective is, and this is what we ran into with business leaders all the time, is they are paid and they were thought that they knew all the answers. That's why they're in the position of leadership. Oh my goodness, like who knows everything about this? Okay, you're the leader. And on the right-hand side, it's a leader in the moment, and everybody, it's herding cats. On the right-hand side, everyone needs to take responsibility for the fact that they are, you know, big L leader, small L leader. But it's about not being perfect. It's about understanding that I am going to lean on you, or I'm going to lean on you, Rome, or Sarah, or somebody else. That's an interdependent mix. So I first have to trust myself enough to be able to go and reach out and say, hey, I need some help here. And then I have to trust myself enough to say, I'm not going to be perfect. Like let me tell you, on digital, it's not even worth explaining how foreign it is for me in terms of being able to move through that. And it is a challenge. And then the other piece that I think I've seen happen for myself and other leaders is leaders typically relate to the world either through their head, their heart, their gut, or some combination. But there's intuition in there. But to actually really get tight on your intuition, you have to be really receptive to intuitive impulses. And then as the world gets more crazy, more people actually get upset, those impulses get all foggy. So it becomes even more difficult by yourself to be able to go and navigate. That's why it's so important from my perspective to actually move into an interdependent mix of people who realize, yeah, this is a place where you don't have to be perfect. And in fact, it's important. If you're trying to be perfect, it's not really going to work all that longer. So every leader on the planet, to come full circle to what Sharon said, every person is a leader on the planet at this point in time. And every leader has no idea what the perfect game plan is in the next minute, the next hour, the next day, the next week, next month.
Yeah, that's right. It's navigating in the present. It's being, the new world is being present. Like the only moment is now, and being so tuned in to your body, to your intuitive navigation, to direct you, and to that this is what the essence of flow is, basically.
Mhm.
So this is flow content creation, is to, our intention for this challenge is to, at the end of this, and I don't want to get totally into the logistics just yet because we still have more big picture, but you know what, maybe I will. So each week, we're going to try this out for 4 weeks, because this is us doing our flow thing. And we have 4 topics. And our intention for the end of this is that you feel a consistent wave of topic, a way of expressing yourself moving forward, even after this challenge is done, and that you feel comfortable to follow that wave of inspiration that comes from you, that just, you know, turn the camera on and you're going to talk about this, and just to do it, and not to feel obligated that you need to even share it. Yeah. But just to start trusting that wave of that intuitive hit of inspiration and take immediate action, even if it's just opening your journal up and saying, okay, I'm going to make a video about this, and writing it down. And, you know, this is how I grew my previous network. It would literally get to the point where I would just hear, you know, drive into my car and I would just hear, turn the camera on. I was like, well, what am I going to talk about? I don't know what I'm going to talk about. And I just hit the live button, and all of a sudden, blah, it would come out. So it's finding your flow and getting comfortable with speaking to a little lens there. And my one advice that I'll give for this specific, our first meeting today, is when you look into that lens, just imagine you're talking to your best friend, and you be you, look right into them and just speak from your heart. And going back to the old world, new world, and why everything's kind of up in this upheaval that we're experiencing, is because we're being stretched to a place of unconditional love. Our old world was all based on conditional love. And I will love you if you are this way. I will love you as a leader if you're perfect. Or maybe I will judge you actually as a leader because you're so, you know, all the different ways we project. And so we're starting, this has been happening for a while now. And that's why I believe we're in the state that we are. And our planet is, love has been rising. Light has been rising. Our consciousness has been rising on the planet for a long time. You know, way shower leaders that are, you know, like Tim and Sharon, who have been at this for a long time, have been a part of contributing to the shift, and Rome, you as well. And so we are starting to, for the first time ever, understand unconditional love. Not many of us have really experienced unconditional love. And so all of the rules for the way of the having, doing, and being are completely changing. And like Tim and Sharon have mentioned, there's no rule book. There's no one who knows all of the answers. And that's going to bring me into this next model again, for this bigger perspective, is, you know, many people have seen David Hawkins' scale of consciousness, and that we are just we are energy, and our energy emits, it broadcasts a frequency. And depending on where we are on the scale of consciousness, we will absorb thoughts either on the lower end, or if our energy is very high and we're able to sustain like really unconditional love, we will entertain other thoughts and ideas. And because of the old world conditioning, our box of frequency has been limited as we've tried to fit in and stay within the rules of society. And more people are saying, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I need to get out of my comfort zone. And so, you know, this is just an example of a box. For some people, it can be smaller, it can be lower, it can be higher. This is just an example we're giving. But all to say, stretching up into love, unconditional love. When we do this, our box heightens our growth zone that we're looking to expand our bandwidth here. It also exposes on the bottom end as well. So when we're stretching up and we're receiving more unconditional love, it's going to show us all the ways that we've shamed ourselves to fit into the box. And the work in terms of scaling our consciousness is to not attach to these emotions, but to feel them and let them flow through us. And a lot of the models we have over on Flow Network will dive deeper into this, and you can go look at them. But it's in that depth of our engagement where our wisdom comes, where our gift comes, where we really understand our wholeness and why we're here. So being a part of a community that has this frame of reference and this understanding that while we all say we want love, it can actually put us into panic, because it starts to expose all of the darker, just dark being hidden. We're shining a light on the emotions that we haven't been able to access before. And so it can put us into panic. We can be overwhelmed with the airwaves, the ether of emotions that are all swirling around on this planet right now. So going back again to you feeling called to putting yourself on video as a grounding force, because you've likely done this work if you're attracted to us here at Flow Network, and to share your unconditional love, to shine your light. More and more and more and more people are going to be looking for you as this awakening intensifies on the planet. And people our mental health challenges are on the rise, and all of these things are just a result of all the ways we fit into society. And to give someone permission to be themselves is such a wonderful, wonderful gift. Tim or Sharon, did you have anything you wanted to add to this?
Well, I would say that back to the idea of being perfect, and we use little hand puppets that you saw in the visual. So the idea is you stretch for a goal. Let's look at this in an individual setting. You have the goal that you actually want to be vibrating a higher frequency. You want to share your talent, your skill, your love. And to sustain that, you're actually stretching at the bottom. And it's going to bring up fear that you didn't know you had. And possibly you could deal with it because it's growth or it's panic. So as an individual, you're going to experience that. As a team of 2 or more people, you're going to start banging off each other potentially, because as soon as one person grows, to stay as a team and we all have to actually grow. We have to stretch. So if in fact I want to stretch and Sharon doesn't want to stretch or can't stretch or Sarah can't stretch, we're going to bang around with each other. And the idea is this is meant in service to the notion of getting out there with video. The idea of perfectionism is going to come up because it is a fear-based response, because your energy needs to sustain at that level, to stay at the high level. So it's a normal phenomena. And we've been teaching this to people for a long time. And rare is the individual who can go, oh yeah, I knew about that. Because you go, the scale of consciousness is just push the limit up top, but it brings up stuff for individuals, teams, husband, wife, girlfriend, family,
friend
dogs,
relationships,
whatever it is going on the planet. So we have a situation where love is rising. So it's just naturally rising. And we have the world responding to, oh my gosh, there's climate change, there's conspiracy theories, there's UFOs that landed yesterday. There's a whole pile of, oh my godness going on. And it is 100% predictable. But the way we move through that is totally different. And we're very, very, very invested in helping people understand that this is what it is to be a human, evolving consciously, scaling consciousness. So that was my little bit. I could go on.
Well, and I like that you added that piece, because I don't know if I said this in the beginning. For anybody who's joining this challenge, feels called to this challenge, and you're not ready to share your video because maybe you have stuff going on in your life, and this was me last year. I loved to be on video, and I shared what I was comfortable with. But if you've got a lot of stuff going on in your personal life, it might not be the time. You might not feel comfortable to share video, and not everybody has to go on video. I mean, whatever your creative art is. However, putting a camera on just your phone and recording yourself is a really powerful reflective practice. That when you have inspiration flowing through you, or you just want to get a thought out, you can go back and watch the video, and it's different than reflecting on writing in a journal that you've done, because you can feel your energy. So when you're watching your video back, and we'll get into this as we go on through the month about more practices around this. But if you're, like we said, when you're stretching and stuff comes up, it's helpful to go back and watch a video of you in a highly resonant and a highly energetic time. And it can help anchor you back to your vision, or back to, thoughts and ideas, highly inspired thoughts and ideas that you had. So that's just one thing. Join us, put the video on. You don't have to share it with anybody. Use it for yourself, keep it in your archives, and reflect on them. So this is a challenge open really to anybody, to use the power of video, and yes, sharing and connecting and building trust out there. But from this higher perspective of we are all one, trust starts with yourself.
Yeah.
Your connection starts with yourself. We all long to have a deep connection and to have people in our life that we can be very open, vulnerable, deeply connected to. And our ability to connect to others starts with our ability to connect deeply with ourselves. And video is a very powerful way for you to connect deeper with yourself. And so thanks for bringing that up, Tim. Okay, so let's get into the logistics, the topic for this week, to get started, and then we can wrap up if there's any other points or questions or anything. So simple logistics, it's basically every Sunday we will share the topic. We might also discuss something that has come up through the group, or whatever we feel is relevant. We're flowing here.
Yeah.
And we'll have a topic, and then it's up to you to create the video. And we're going to say the videos to be 1 to 3 minutes, just because we're going to have people sharing these videos in the Flow Network community on Facebook. So it's a safe space, a non-judgmental space of all the flowers in there, and you can share it in that community. And if we want to be watching people, we won't have time to watch 27-minute videos. So we'll keep them 1 to 3 minutes, and hashtag flow content creation. And of course, if you want to share them on your own pages, that would be awesome. If you're feeling comfortable to share them on your social medias, wherever, and hashtag flow content creation challenge. Then on Sunday, we'll put the next topic, and then you'll put the next video. So you have a whole week to create this video. And maybe you really do want to share it in the community, but you want to take a couple takes, like just do your thing. And if you do not want to share, but you're going to just record the video for yourself, awesome. If whatever you feel like sharing, if it's just, I love this challenge, and you want to share some ahas you've had or insights, please, we love to have the engagement in there. And then our goal, our plan after the month is over, is everyone who's participated in the challenge, we're going to do a draw, and we have some fun giveaways like this UBU mug.
Nice.
And we'll also,
I love my UBU mug.
Oh yeah, baby.
UBU. And we're also going to give a call, like to have one-on-one time with Tim, one-on-one time with Sharon, and one-on-one time with myself as well. So those are going to be fun giveaways that we will be doing. Did I miss anything in terms of logistics, you guys?
I don't think
so.
so.
Okay, so the topic. So for this week, we would propose to make a video about what you are grateful for. What are you grateful for? And specifically, if we can tie it into what we're grateful for that we've been gifted through this pandemic. Like in this last 2 years, what are you grateful for? And that speaks to that when we're in challenge, we can still find things to be grateful for. So reflect on that.
Sorry, if I could just leap in.
Yes.
In fact, when we are in challenge, in order to be able to navigate the challenge and sustain less stress, less internal emotional damage and trauma, if it's a huge challenge, we have to focus on gratitude, and it's a discipline. You need to discipline yourself to look for the things to be grateful for. It's critically important.
Yeah. And speaking back to this, gratitude is a high frequency. It's a higher energetic frequency. So when we are allowing ourselves to explore our depths of the hidden emotions, being able to bring yourself back up to that higher frequency of gratitude is what actually allows you to discover the gifts, the treasures, the wisdom in those wounds or traumas. So not only is it a practice that I've done every single day of my life for the last, I don't know how many years, 20 years, it helps you stay at that higher level of frequency. But who doesn't want more gratitude out in the world? So sharing what you're grateful for is going to uplift your community and help others reflect on what they can. Oh yes, I can be grateful for this. And it puts us in a state of empowerment, a power within, versus in the old world where we can really get sucked into being a victim of circumstance. And, the biggest context piece for where we're at in society, I'm not an astrologer, but I do love following astrology in terms of the planets telling us a little bit about, in the macrocosm, what we're experiencing energetically here in the microcosm. And I don't know all the terms of this planet is here and this means this, but I saw a friend of mine share that it was the same pattern of planets happened when Rome fell, when it was the Holocaust, and what was the third one? Do you guys remember?
It was really a long time. The American Revolution.
Yes.
When Rome fell, when the American Revolution was happening, and when the Rodney King riots were happening in LA.
So all to say, there's a whole lot of upheaval, transformative energy currently happening right in this time. And I think it's a powerful understanding to have in terms of what you're feeling called to do, to be in this time, is a result of your whole life experience has put you exactly in this place, in this time, to be who you are today and to offer your unique puzzle piece to this whole transformative experience that we are literally co-creating a new world, a completely new world that is totally based on empowerment, on peace, on unconditional love. And while things are doing their fluctuative dance and, in that transformative time, it is messy. It can be hard to remember, and we can get pulled back into the dark very easily because we're seeing it out there. So really finding that the inner light, and then sharing that. People are looking for you. People are looking to be reminded that they are that as well. So it's never been a greater time to put yourself out there. So what are you grateful for? That is what we're excited to hear from you. And anything else that we need to finish up with, you guys, that you can think of?
No, just Rome. I'm just wondering if you have any thoughts or questions.
I have thousands of thoughts and questions.
Any you'd care to share?
Yeah, any you'd care to share?
Specifically about what we're talking about? I'm in a very busy space when it comes. All right, so this whole new direction I'm heading with revamping Studio Rome. So there's a lot of things going on with it, and on top of what it was, we're adding new things into the studio, which is podcast. So my head is always spinning with ideas and topics and stuff. I find myself even now having problems focusing in meditations because I've got so many ideas and creativity juices going on, right? Instead of 9 o'clock, which is normally my bedtime, I'm wide awake. So, and that's a great thing, right? Because I know what's coming. Yeah, it's a big expansion of growth. I'm completely out of my element with the video and the computer. And so you got to understand, my creative outlet has always been art, visual media, mostly, paints and those kind of things. So working on a new kind of platform as far as video goes is brand new. And for someone of my age to step into a whole new realm and to learn everything that you have to know,
We feel your learning curve.
I understand entirely.
We are right there.
So I've compartmentalized my day. Like I mentioned earlier, I think before we went on, I'm working on the website, and I've built it up, not knowing anything about how to build websites. And I just give myself a certain amount a day to do that. Then I break, and I'll go on. I've been working on this audio box, trying to figure out how to make that thing work. And there's this, this big recording sound studio software that goes with it. So I'm learning that as well. So we give ourselves a certain amount of time for that. And then, there's personal time and everything like that. So it's just going to be a matter of how much bandwidth I have to learn everything and produce everything the way. But in the meanwhile, we're just going to have fun with it. It's just roll with it.
Awesome.
I think that what you said, Rom, about having fun with it is so important as well, in terms of keeping our frequency high. As we can sometimes get just forget and become very serious about life and why we're here and what we're doing. And to bring the energy of playfulness and fun is also very much a part of the intention of this challenge. And again, not to be perfect, not to take ourselves so seriously, and to bring that energy of playfulness and fun into 2022 is so important. Okay, well, I think we have covered everything, and we've fit into our 40-ish minute mark, which is great because I know our time is valuable. And I can also relate to you as well, Rome. Once the creative juices start flowing, when I was making these models, I was literally dreaming about making them, which is, it's great to get that creative flow going. And then when you have a focus, something to really focus on, that's when the magic really starts to happen. And it's amazing how productive you can be when you're in flow and create more space for yourself in your life, and how you really want to spend your time, which is such a beautiful thing about the energy of flow, which is also obviously a part of this intention, is to really get into that beautiful stream where, because like being online is wonderful, video is wonderful. I say this all the time. Social media is a powerful way for us to connect, to build trust, and all the things we talked about, and grow businesses. And I like my time offline more. I like my time, being with the people that I love. And that is the power that we can utilize through video and having video conversations and all of that. So thanks so much. We look forward to seeing your videos on what you're grateful for. And we look forward to seeing where this challenge takes us throughout the month.
Any questions, challenges, you're stuck, you feel like you're either got your head down sobbing, pulling your hair out, whatever it is, reach out.
Or you're wildly excited. You can't believe how brilliant you are. And you go, oh my God, I got to share this with the world.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we're here. Reach out.
Yep. We're here. We look forward to it.
And we've been there.
Yeah. A few times.
Absolutely. We have.
So we'll see you inside the Flow Network community group at Flow Network Community. For now, Flow over and out.
Over and out.